All right, what up, guys? So I want to show you all the trade that I took this morning. I ended up making about $400 across all my accounts. So let's start off by looking at what Asia and London session did. So we can see that Asia expanded, London kind of consolidated. So we're gonna go ahead and mark out Asia high, Asia low, London high, London low. We got Asia low right there. Asia high was taken by London high, and then London low was taken by New York pre-market. So London high and then Asia low. And something that I want to point out off the bat is looking at the daily time frame. We are obviously in a range, right? But a few days ago on the 17th, we have finally come down and swept out this low. Okay. So immediately what that tells me is we get this reaction off this low. I mean, obviously we can tell from this wick, and then we get a move up. So in the past few days, now the past 2 days have been going up. So that would likely tell me that if the market is currently trending sideways, then it would be likely to assume that we're going to go back up into the range. So that makes me pretty bullish. So now we have to find some kind of target higher, and that is the problem. Looking at the 4 hour, we have already swept out this prominent high right here. We're like pretty much on top of London highs going into market open, and there is just nothing higher other than this 4 hour high all the way up here. And again, it's super far away. So I go down to the hourly, and again, we've swept out this hourly, or I'm sorry, that 4 hour high. And then the only other thing, like there's just nothing. Like throughout this entire leg, there's no fair value gaps to target. So then you can kind of get into, I can't do it because I can only do replay mode on one asset at a time. But like you could look on ES, and ES still did have a 4 hour high, because we were forming a bearish SMT because NAS swept out the 4 hour high, ES didn't. So you could take longs on ES targeting that, or take longs on NAS and then just exit whenever ES takes a draw. Regardless, there was just not a lot of targets higher, right? So that led me to assume that we sweep out this low, we go higher, we put in this range high, now we sweep out this range high. I'm looking for shorts. So instead of going all the way back up to the top of the range, this is going to be the new range and we will go back down. Is kind of what I was thinking. So off of market open, at this point, looking at this, scrolling down the 5 minute, we have London highs above, obviously. And then what we can see is from Asia expanding all night, and then London kind of consolidating. All we're doing is generating a ton of sell side liquidity right here. Okay. So we could target really any of these lows. So at this point, what I'm looking for is as soon as market open on the 1 minute, we immediately get a reaction higher, sweep out London highs, boom, show you like the second that I actually entered, because whenever I go forward like a candle, it just shows like the entire minute. But yeah, I end up entering like right here when we tapped into that 1 minute, because as soon as we put in this wake, I was confident that we at least had to go down to the range low. So yeah, it was about a 1-to-1. That is where I end up entering, and then it just flushed down straight to TP. So that is the trade that I ended up taking this morning. Let me show you all the executions on my phone. There it is. So, yep, that is trade that I took.